We are in the midst of crazy times right now here on planet Earth. And you are here on this video because you want to help the planet. You want to find a way that you can contribute, that you can do something that can actually impact the planet. So whoever you're at, wherever you're at in the world, there is one thing that you can start doing today that is going to create a profound shift for the planet. First of all, it's going to start with you in your own internal experience, and then it'll ripple out to the people around you. And then through the people around you, it will continue to ripple out to the entire planet. Most of you who really wants to support the evolution of the consciousness in humanity right now, most of you may not even think about this profound way that you can start supporting the planet today and really help the planet heal. So first of all, hi, welcome or welcome back if you're new here or if you're coming back. My name is Hannah. I'm an intuitive chakra healer, energy weaver, and somatic guide. In this video, I have something for you, something special. I can't wait to dive into this because I feel like by the end of this video, you're gonna leave having so much more hope to yourself, to your own life, and to humanity as a whole, to the planet. So if you're here, I just first want to thank you so much for being here, because you being here and watching this video just can tell you the kind of person that you are. It can tell you, it can give you an example of like how much you deeply care about humanity, about your life, about your family, about your community. So I just want to first thank you so much from the bottom of my heart and just like really shout you out, because this is like, with people like you, that's how we're going to make the change. With people like you watching this video, that's how the change that we want to see in the world, that's how it's going to start sprouting. So I want to start with a little bit of something here, and then I will tell you what is this one thing that is going to really create an impact and support the entire planet. And also I'll explain to you why and how you can start practicing it today. So as you can tell, this is imagine that this is you. Inside of this avatar, which is you, the person who's watching, there's all kinds of different things inside, right? There is cells, there's bones, there's muscles, there's psychological parts, right? So like we have our inner child parts, we have our protectors, we have our injuries in there, we have our diseases in there, we have our illnesses in there, we have all of our organs, our brain, our hearts, our thoughts, our feelings, our belief systems, our traumas, our programmings and conditionings. So I want to invite you to imagine yourself having all of the things that I just mentioned inside of you. And also the most important thing, you have your chakras. Okay, so these are your 7 main chakras. There are way more than 7, but we're going to work with the 7 main chakras. All of the things that I mentioned, going from your chakras, which is the energy centers in your body, which within those energy centers, all of the layers of your being are manifested within those energy centers. Meaning your energy centers, your chakras, are the portals to access every single layer of your being, right? And there's infinite layers of your being, of who you are, because you are a multidimensional being. And there's infinite layers, right? So what do I mean when I say layers, right? So the main 3 layers that I like to talk about that can make sense to us is there's the energetic layer, right? The energetic body, which is our chakras, our meridians, our aura. And then we have the subtle body, which is our feelings, our thoughts, right? Our emotional body, our mental body. And then slowest to manifest is the physical layer. The physical layer is our physical body. It's our physical injuries, our physical organs, our skin, our cells, right? So you are a composition that holds all of these layers. Now, I want you to think about planet Earth, the world. Not the best artists out there, but we can still work with that. I hope we can still work with that. So this is planet Earth, and this is you. everything that you're experiencing on the planet is hitting a specific place inside of you. What do I mean by that? Let's say politics, let's say the food system, let's say the news, the education system, the medical system, let's say wars. All of these things that are manifested in your physical reality, in your reality here on planet Earth, they're like a mirror, like a huge mirror. Let's say this is a mirror. It reflects back to your internal reality, right? So I'll give you an example. Let's say you are feeling triggered by something that happens in politics, which I'm sure a lot of you out there are feeling very triggered by what's happening in the politics. Now, I want to say, like, there's nothing wrong or bad about that. It's just we're living on this planet, and there's so many years of programmings and traumas, and us forgetting the truth of who we are, and the earth itself forgetting the truth of who she is, and we're living on top of her surface. We are the earth. So all of these things that we are experiencing makes a lot of sense. Okay, so there's nothing bad or good about it, but this is something that would be very important for you to, first of all, become aware of it. More than 75% of the process is to become aware, because when you become aware of something, you have something you can actually work with and shift for yourself. Because you are a sovereign creator, you are a multidimensional being, you are creating your reality. And I'll explain you exactly how you can create this reality in this video as we move forward. I actually had a client, okay? I had a client where she was very triggered about what's happening in politics. And in our session, she came over, and in the session, we dove deep into this fear that's coming up for her around the politics, fear like survival fear, basically, fear that everything is gonna just like crumble and nothing's gonna hold. Like that's like a deep survival fear within her root chakra, because root chakra is the energy center that is associated with safety, security, stability, groundedness, and it's also the energy center that is related to survival needs and related to the groups that we came from. So it's related to race, culture, gender, religion, and all of these like groups that we came from. So the belief systems that are in the groups that we came from are automatically going to the root chakra. So the groups can also be the groups within political views, right? So liberals, Democrats, etc. I'm so not in politics, so I'm not even sure if that's how you say the groups. But there's the different groups, right? And the belief system that we have within every group is going straight to our root chakra. And guess what? Our root chakra is also the foundation of our tree. It's the foundation of our building. What do I mean by that? Every single energy center first of all, every single energy center is infinite. Infinite layers, because it's energy, it's multidimensional, it's infinite. And each one has its own job, its own characteristics, its own personality, right? Its own whatever it's supposed to be doing, right? Whatever aspect it's supposed to bring into your life. So safety, security, stability, survival needs, all of that. Sacral chakra, for example, is going to be emotion, sexuality, sensuality, intimacy, one-on-one relationships. Solar plexus, the third energy center, it's all about the self. It's all about our sense of self, who we are in the world, how do we view ourselves. So the value that we are holding for ourselves, the identities that we have, motivation, setting boundaries, right? Self-worth, self-esteem. Our heart chakra is our unconditional love, compassion, empathy, kindness, gratitude. Throat chakra is our communication, speaking our truth, authenticity, expression, listening also. Third eye, it's our inner wisdom. It's our ability to see beyond illusion. It's our clear mind. It's our psychic abilities. It's related to our sleep and dreams and brain. The crown chakra, it's our spiritual connection, our connection to God or source or the universe. Our like the ability for us to experience the oneness and the unity consciousness. And of course, every single one of them. And of course, there's, like I said, there's way more than 7, but I like to work with the 7 main ones because the way I see it, your entire human experience is in these 7 main ones. This is why I just like to focus on those 7 main ones. Now, every single one of them has infinite symptoms. What do I mean when I say symptoms? Think of fear, anxiety, depression, physical illnesses, injuries. Think of issues in communication, issues in relationships, intimate relationships, platonic relationships, issues around your career, issues with money, issues with food, issues with your body. Like literally, like every symptom that you can think of, you can possibly think of in your reality is pointing to one or all of these energy centers that are simply out of balance. Why is this important to this? This is important baseline to be aware of because we know that when something is reflected back to us from what we're seeing on planet Earth, it's reflected back and it's hitting something that exists within us. So if I have fear, going back to the politics client that I have, she had fear, a very intense survival fear around politics and about the society collapsing. It's pointing into fear within her own root chakra, survival fear within her own root chakra that has been here for a very like deep ancestral fear that is probably also past lives and also collective fear. So it's like a very deep fear on a very deep energetic layer that sometimes we're not even aware of it because it's so deep and it's not even from this little life that we have now. It's like looking at reality and our existence in a very multidimensional way that there's so much more that's happening every split second that we're not aware of. Like so much that we're not aware of in every single moment. And all of these like deep ancestral imprints and conditioning that we're holding within our bodies, what the world is showing us is going to clash into those wounds that we hold within our bodies. And that way it'll impact our experience here on planet Earth. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts so far. I would love to hear from you. What are you getting from this so far? But we're gonna keep going. I wanna speak about war, for example. So if you don't know, I'm originally from Israel. Born and raised in Israel. I served in the military and I actually made a whole YouTube video. I made 2 YouTube videos. I'm gonna put them in the description below, but I'll put the recent one that I made up here. In those YouTube videos, I really dove into what's happening in the Middle East, but from spiritual lens, from a spiritual perspective, because I've done a lot of inner work and a lot of healing work around my own triggers and my own wounds around this whole thing that happens in Israel, which is like this whole separation between Muslims and Jews that has been going on for thousands and thousands of years, right? It's something that started, I mean, we're seeing it in the Bible. That's, you know, kind of like how the witnesses of where the wound has started and how far since then it has been showing up in our lives on an individual level and also on a collective level. Even if you're someone who's not related to Muslims or you know, Jewish people, but you may still have some feelings around it. It may still impact you in some way. It's because we're all connected in an energy field, and we're all been here more than one time, and we've been kind of experiencing these dynamics for a very long time, and we are picking it up in our bodies, especially in our energetic bodies. So when I'm talking about the war, for example, in the beginning, I would get so triggered. I would be like, like I was like in a very hate annihilation energy. Like we need to kill them all. That's kind of like the way that I was thinking. Okay. I'm not thinking this way anymore. Okay. Because why? Because I have done a lot of work on healing that wound within me. Because when I get triggered, and this is for everybody, and really I'm inviting you to feel into yourself as I'm saying this. Really connect with your body and feel into your body. What's land for you as I'm saying this? When I am getting triggered, it's nothing out there that did something to me. It's a wound inside of me that I haven't yet integrated or healed. So when the world showed me after October 7th, what happened, and the trigger that it brought up for me. And I'm like this person that's like, you know, doing healing work, and I help people heal, and I'm all about love. But when that happened, it triggered something in me that I immediately went into hate and annihilation. And thankfully, my partner, my husband now, he's not Jewish or Muslim. He's very neutral about all of this. So he just pointed out to me, Hannah, you are a little, you know, you're reacting a little bit in a way that's like just seems a little extreme, right? And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Blah 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 blah. And he's like, you know, you're getting triggered right now. And I was like, no, I'm not getting triggered. What are you talking about? I'm not getting triggered. And he's like, babe, you're getting triggered right now. And then I was like, oh wait, I am getting triggered. What is it here that's being touched for me, inside of me? Because something is being reflected to me from the outside world that it's touching me somewhere very deeply. And I get very angry and very like protective, right? Which makes so much sense. I just want to, wherever you're at on the spectrum, makes so much sense. And this is exactly why we're here watching this video, because at the end of this video, you're gonna have so much clarity around this. So when I saw this wound around the war hitting me, what did I do? I didn't, you know, I mean, maybe a few days I was like kind of like posting and making kind of like sharing more separation, because this is what everybody's doing, and that's what, you know, that's kind of like the programmings that are being shown to us. Choose side, right? But really quickly I realized like this is actually not helping. It's not helping. It actually makes things worse. It's like, you know, there are people on the other side that they stay with their point of view, I'm staying with my point of view, and if we're both like screaming at each other and barking at each other, it's not gonna, there's no entrance point, there's no way to bring it together. It's like two magnets that are resisting each other. They're never gonna match. So one of the magnets needs to change, and that's when I chose, okay, I need to integrate that wound. And I sat down and I was like going into it and felt it all, and felt the grief and the pain and the rage in my living room by myself. And guess what? More and more, every time I would get triggered, I was like, oh wow, there's something else here. Let me sit with it. Let me see what's here. And I would work with it with like parts work, which is a huge piece of what I do. Parts work, somatic work, and, you know, working with the chakras, because the chakras are the root for all of the layers that are coming within the chakras as the portals. So what I'm telling you here right now is, this is like, I'm talking about collective level, but this earth can also be your partner. Your partner, think of them as a mirror. Your kids, your parents. Oh my gosh, don't get me started. I made a whole YouTube video talking about my mother wound and how I healed my mother wound. So I'm gonna put it up here, and I'm also gonna put it below. But let me just tell you real quick that for the longest time that I could remember, I always wanted to change my mom. I came from a cult in Israel, so I was born and raised in a very extreme conditions, very repressed environment, and I always, like, after coming out, I always like kind of came to my mom with like energy of fight, like, I need you to be different. You're in the dark. You don't understand anything. Like, I need you to change. And guess what? That's exactly what I received from her. Every single time we would talk, she would tell me about the religion. She would try to get me back into being religious in Israel, in a cult. And I would get even more upset and more triggered. And then I would do the same unconsciously. I was not even conscious of it for the longest time. I would do the same exact thing to her, until my sister, thank God, my sister, me and my two sisters and my partner and my community around me, we live this type of life when we're not cuddling each other, we're gonna tell each other the truth. And my sister, she told me, Hannah, you know, you're just like our mom. You're acting exactly like her. Because I did to my sister the same thing that I did to my mom. And so she experienced that, and she gave me that feedback, and I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. It was again reflected something back that was inside of me. There was something inside of me that needed something that I didn't attend to, so I projected out externally. And again, we're doing it with our dogs, we're doing it with our families, we're doing it with our friends, with our clients, with the world. We're doing it with like everything and everyone, right? This is part of the human experience. So again, nothing wrong, nothing bad about it. However, and this is where we're going to be talking about what is it that you can do that can actually be supportive for the planet. And now after all of this that I just shared with you, you may have a little bit more of understanding why this is the most important thing that you can do for the planet. The best thing that you can do for the planet and for your family and for your friends and for your clients and for your kids and for your parents and for everybody around you is to fully love yourself. Like all the parts of yourself. Some of you, I may ask you, like, do you love yourself? And you'll be like, yeah, of course I love myself. Yeah, sure. But do you really though? Do you really feel the feeling of unconditional love in your heart through all over your body toward yourself? Do you absolutely love your injuries? Do you absolutely love your illnesses, your diseases, your inner child, your teenage self? Do you absolutely love all of the parts of you, every cell in your body, every pain that your body holds, every emotion that rises up, every energy that comes into your body? Like, do you act like, you know what I mean? Do you actually love fully, unconditionally all the parts of you that are inside of you? I'm inviting you to take this question with you once you've done with this video and really feel into that. Really feel into that. Because when you are fully love yourself, like everything, I mean, your shoulder pain, you absolutely love your shoulder pain. Wow, I have shoulder pain. This pain, I created this pain. So I love this pain because I created it. I created this disease. I created this like grief or this rage and just loving it, loving all of it. And I will say to you, you may be at a point A right now, and loving all the parts of you, like I'm saying, will be a point 10, and you need to go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This may be the case for you. So I made a whole YouTube video talks about as within, so without, and about the process of how you start really diving into this process of really loving all the parts within yourself. So I'm going to put it up here and also we'll add it in the description below. But when you are fully loving all the parts of you, guess what the world is going to reflect back to you? You guessed it right. The world is going to reflect back to you magic, love, unity. And yes, of course, there's still other things. I still feel the separation. I still feel the grief. I still feel all the pain that is in our collective consciousness, all of the traumas. But I can still feel it. However, it's not around me. It's not around me. Around me in my life, there's magical people around me. There's just love and acceptance, and just like things are getting more and more magical. I'm almost like, where else can it go? And I know deep down inside, it's only going to get better and better and better. Why? Because I got the formula. And this is where I really want to tell you this. If there's something in your body, your belly, your teeth, your eyes, whatever it is that you don't like, first thing, the most important thing, you have to start learning how to love it fully, unconditionally. And again, you know, you can watch the video below about how to go into this process, but I love doing parts work. Okay? Parts work is where, let's say I'm going to take the most regular random thing that can be. It can be your anxiety, it can be your depression, it can be your whatever it is. But I'm going to take something physical. Let's say I have like my left knee is in pain. My left knee is in pain and I I want to get rid of it. Like, I want to get rid of that pain. I don't want this pain. I want it to go away. Guess what? The pain goes bigger and bigger and bigger. because it wants to be seen, it wants to be acknowledged, it wants to be loved. This pain has something to tell you. This pain is not here randomly. It actually has a message for you. But if instead of like, oh, I need to fix it, maybe I'll take this pill and this remedy and this thing, let me just get rid of it, try to get rid of it, find solutions to get rid of it. Instead, maybe I'm like, oh, wait, wow, okay, let me really tune into this knee pain. And I'm going to feel into, what is the knee pain? What's the shape? What's the color? What's the texture? What's the size? Is it solid, or is it something I could put my hand through it? Let's say I see a red round ball that is solid, that is hard. And then I'll ask myself, how do I feel toward that ball? Oh, I feel like I want it to go away. I hate it. I don't want it here. Makes sense. This is where we don't want to bypass. We don't want to like, oh my God, I love it. No, when it's not the truth. If the truth is I freaking hate it, then we really want to give space to whatever is here. So if I feel a lot of anger toward it and I hate it and I want it to go away, I really give space to this feeling to fully be here, to fully be expressed. Maybe it wants to speak, maybe it wants to express. And you're just giving it space. You almost imagine as if this feeling of I want it to go away, almost imagine it as if it's a little kid and you're its mother and you're just holding it, just allowing it to be here. Yes, it makes so much sense that you feel this way. Makes so much sense that I really get it. That it's just uncomfortable, and I really get that you want it out. Validate this feeling. Once you really allow the feeling to give it space to be here, usually there's going to be softening after you really let it be here. Give it space, all the space that it needs. It may take days, weeks, all the space that it needs. And after you really allow it and release all of the feeling that you have toward it, then there's more space of neutrality and then more space for curiosity. So the next step would be, you'll imagine that you're sitting on a little bench next to this red ball, your knee pain. And you're going to try to feel its vibe. What's the vibe or the energy you get off of it? Oh, it feels like afraid. It feels scared. And then automatically, when you're really tuning in with how that feels, it's automatically impacting you in a certain way. Like, wow, it feels scared. Like that automatically can, it's not always the same. It can be very different for every person, very, very different. And it can be very different for every situation. Can be very different with your knee pain than with your anxiety. Very different. So it's always different. So when you're connecting with it, it could impact you in a way like, oh wow, I feel more empathy toward it now that I really feel like it's scared. So you can send it that energy of, oh, I really feel you. And just sending it empathy and love. And then you can start, the next step would be to start developing a relationship with it. Start talking to it, communicating with it. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid that would happen? Why are you here? Where did you come from? How long have you been here? Is there anything you want to teach me? Is there anything you want to show me? Is there anything you would like me to know? And it'll answer you. It'll answer you with the form of an image, a word, a sentence, or a feeling in a different place in your body. And if there's something that you don't understand, let's say you get a feeling in your heart and you're going to ask, what exactly do you mean by that? And then another thing could come up for you, like betrayal, for example. Betrayal and a heart. And again, all of these things that I'm talking about, every single energy center are related to different area of the body. So left knee is related to the root chakra, safety, security, stability. Left is usually the feminine or the mother side. Usually, not always. It can be also the feminine from the father side, by the way. And, heart in this case is responsible for the chest, shoulders, upper back, arms, all the way to the fingertips. It's responsible for your heart, for your respiratory system. So when you're noticing something leading you there, you now know, like, this is how the chakras are not separated. They work together. So you're kind of understanding, it's like the chakras are literally like the sensations are literally sending you to the different map of what it is that you're working with. And there's a lot of layers to it. But the idea is that after you develop intimacy and relationship with it and you really gave it space, Only after, and sometimes it could be months after, you're gonna then ask it, after you develop that intimacy, that relationship, you gave it space, all the space in the world that it needs, you really sat with it, you're gonna ask it at the end, after this, like the last piece of the process, you'll ask it, are you ready to transmute back into love with a lot of love and care where you came from? Or do you need more time? And sometimes it'll tell you, no, I need more 2 weeks, 2 more weeks. No, I'm not ready. And sometimes it'll tell you, yeah, I'm ready. And then that's when the transmutation happened, where you can imagine in the corner of the room, you can imagine golden light that is unconditional love, and you're like bringing that golden light in, and you're visualizing it coming into your knee, and it's not like trying to get rid of it, it's just hugging it. And when it's hugging it and loving it, it's almost like this pain, this like pain in your knees just transmutes back into love, because energy cannot be destroyed, it cannot be created, it can only be transformed or transmuted. So you can transform pain into love, you can transform anxiety into play, you can transform fear into pleasure. This is like the actual process of how you can really love all of the parts of you. So just saying I love you, I love you, I love you, where you actually like want to murder that part, that's not what I'm talking about. Just saying it doesn't really mean it. It takes relationship building, it takes presence, it takes patience. And that's the way that you can heal your physical pain, your physical illnesses, your mental and emotional matters, your energetic blockages. People tend to think that you have to remove blockages. People tend to think you have to remove your fear, you have to remove blockages, you have to remove dark entities. Yes, there's time and place for that, for sure. But if it came to you, there's probably a reason why it came to you. It probably has something to teach you. Why don't you squeeze the lesson and then transmute it into love rather than removing it? Because if you remove it, it can easily come back the other door if it has something to teach you and you didn't get the lesson. So this is how we can get to a place where we fully love all of our parts within us, and to integrate those parts. And when we walk like that in the world, just really loving ourselves like that, we're not even trying, but we're automatically impacting people. Because the way that we talk to people, before we even talk physically, whatever you embody in your body, whatever the energy you carry. I heard a sentence someone said yesterday. I started listening to this podcast. I forgot, it was with Emilio Ortiz. It's this guy that interviews a lot of people on his podcast related to spirituality and healing and New Earth and different things like that. Highly recommend this guy. He interviews really amazing people. But this one guy was talking in the podcast and said, before I talk to someone, like before, the words are masks. Energy cannot lie. Energy cannot lie. Whatever, you can be in a room and not speak a word and impact everyone in the room more than anyone else in the room. And what does it determine on? It determines on the inner work that you've done and how your energy is flowing, how your energy centers are flowing, and how what do you inserting in the field. So whatever someone can say in words, if it's not matching the energy and what they embody, it doesn't do anything. But if it does, that's great. However, you don't even have to speak when you embody it in your energy. You just go to a place, and people that have good energy, you can just feel it. You can just feel like, wow, I get really good energy from you. Why? It's because of their energy. And you can consciously work with your energy. And when you're loving all of your parts, you're automatically, when you claim yourself in that way, when you claim yourself in the infinite, and you can see yourself in an unconditional love lens, you can then see others in that lens. If you can't see yourself in that lens, you can't see others in that lens. When you see yourself in so much unconditional love, then you send it out into the field, out into the world, and that's how you help humanity the most right now. Because if you loved your own wounds and your own programmings and traumas and your inner child, if you love those parts of you so much, you're like overflowing with that. And then you can love everyone with their wounds. And when you love them with their wounds, however they are, whatever they came up with, you just love them as they are with their wounds. You giving them an opportunity, you're giving them a portal for them to be able to love themselves too. Because you saw them that way, so they can start seeing themselves in that way. And that's the most important things, you know, like I remember this point where I was thinking about those terrorists from October 7th, and I literally imagined, I visualized, I just like felt so much love for them. So much love for them. I just imagined me going there and just like hugging them and telling them, I really understand how you feel. I really, really understand how you feel, how painful it is. Because let me tell you, when people do stuff like that, it's because of, this is not to say, oh, it's okay, but what's birthing a behavior like that is deep, deep, deep wounds. So this is the way, the other side of how we impact when we are operating from our wounds. This is extreme example, but we can all do it in small ways. We can all do it in, you know, small ways, maybe manipulating or control or lying or whatever the thing is. We all operate from wounds, and again, there's nothing wrong or bad about it. It's just a matter of becoming aware of it and like starting to work on it, because like that's how we can really impact the planet. That's how we can really make a change. And when I was able to connect with those terrorists and like send them so much love and so much compassion I was like, gosh, like what did you have to go through in your life and in your ancestral line to get to a place where you do stuff like that? And this is, by the way, on both sides, because we also have trauma on our side, quote unquote, if you don't see my fingers. There's trauma on both sides, and there's people operating from a place of trauma on both sides. So the more of us, the regular people, the more of us, the people of humanity, society, loving ourselves and loving our wounds and loving ourselves fully, unconditionally, all of ourselves, then we can love others too. And then they can start loving themselves too. So this is how we are impacting. This is how the most powerful, profound way that you can impact in this day and age is to fully love all of who you are. I would love to hear in the comments your thoughts about this. I want to say something, last thing. If you are a woman and you are feeling a draw to either energy weaving, deep chakra work, or stepping into service, whether if you're already in some kind of service of helping others with healing, with remembering, with transformation, or if you feel the draw, whether you've done some inner work or had spiritual awakenings and you feel this draw to step into that, I want to invite you to book an interview, sacred interview with me in the description below, in the links below. I would love to interview you for the sacred project of birthing ROM technology. ROM technology is a technology, a modality of remembrance, remembering who you are beneath all the layers of trauma, programmings, conditioning, stories, returning to your true essence. ROM goes for Root Weaving Axis Mundi. At its foundation, it's energy weaving. If you don't know what energy weaving is, I'm going to put the link up here and also in the description below so you can dive into it and see if you have this draw in your soul. Deep chakra work. The way we work with chakra is the way that I've been sharing in this video as a map. And universal parts work. So we're working with inner parts, the parts that I've been talking to you about today, but also everything else in this reality is a part of me. These trees are a part of me. Animals are a part of me. My ancestors are a part of me. My loved one who passed are a part of me. Extraterrestrial beings are a part of me. If we are the oneness and it's one consciousness, then everything is a part of us. So it's with that, and also somatic work. So if you feel drawn to any of that, make sure you book your interview in the description below. I would love to chat with you and get to know you and hear about your path. I've interviewed more than 50 women by now, and one thing I heard, most every woman that I interviewed was that it was very deeply clarified for their path. So it's a win-win situation because it's really helpful for me for my research of this process of birthing this technology into the world. So thank you so much for watching, and just inviting you to really feel into yourself. How can I love myself more today? Maybe take this question, write it down for you, and put it in a place where you can see it every day. Because if you do this every day for a month even, and your siblings are going to do it every day for a month, and your entire community and your parents and your kids and all of your friends, and then their friends are doing it, and then their friends are doing it, and it's just like a web goes outward like this. Can you imagine what world we would live in? Just food for thought. I'm inviting you to imagine what our world would look like if that was our reality.